Imagine if you were fleeing from a violent relationship. You had actually changed your name and then someone else signed you up to that app using your real name and your real contact details without you knowing anything about it, while claiming that you were looking for some no strings attached fun. That is exactly what happened in the disturbing case of the thankfully short-lived Ox Shag website. You're watching The Why Files with me, Claire Patterson, where I tell you true life stories that make you ask why. We know how dating apps generally work. You sign up, you give yourself a username, you add your most flattering photographs and write something about yourself that you hope will attract the right type of attention. Swiping left or right, whichever way it is that means you like the look of that person. Now, I admit I'm fairly old-fashioned, but I know full well there will be many people on the apps looking for casual, no strings attached fun without feeling guilty, and that's fine, you do you. But imagine if you were fleeing from a violent relationship. You had actually changed your name and then someone else signed you up to that app using your real name and your real contact details without you knowing anything about it, while claiming that you were looking for some no strings attached fun. That is exactly what happened in the disturbing case of the thankfully short-lived Ox Shag website. Not just to that particular person who was a victim of domestic violence, but to every single person who had an Oxford University email address in January 2023. Every single person. That's every student, and that's every member of staff. Tutors, admin staff, support staff, and every student. Amy Ellis Winter reported for the Oxford Blue that the shadowy figure behind Oxshag, calling themselves the Ox Shagger, took it upon themselves to upload the entire Oxford University contacts list, email contacts list, to this website, encouraging the people of Oxford University to break with tradition, to quite literally F the system, dress how you like, shag who you want to, and don't feel guilty about it. How about feeling guilty for putting so many people in a potentially harmful position? Everyone on the list was there without their knowledge or without their consent. Amy collected reactions and quotes from several students for the piece for the Oxford Blue. And I actually feel like the students who spoke to Amy were very polite about what is an outrageous, deliberate violation of people's privacy. Here's just a few quotes. "It feels violating to be sucked into a strange sex game without any knowledge of it beforehand. The lines crossed here are astounding." End quote. And quote, "There are men in that list that have sexually assaulted me, and they have the option to choose me." End quote. The almost immediate backlash when the website and its Instagram were launched on the 7th of January led to both being taken down the very next day. But not for long. It was back again later on the evening of the 8th, before finally being taken down again on the 9th of January. And on the 9th, Amy Ellis Winter also received a response to her original article from the so-called Oxshagger. They, although I'm guessing it's a he, gave a very lacklustre apology and ended up accusing, quote, what could have been a fun event of being, quote, ruined by the loud minority who, and this is the words of the Oxshagger, not myself, should, quote, loosen up a bit, have a laugh and take life a bit less seriously. I hate to think that someone who should be pretty bright, they got into Oxford University, presumably, could be so blinkered about something so serious. The lack of insight into other people's experiences and the risk that other people face, disregard for other people's free will, is just shocking. I was glad to see, though, that as well as this sort of deliberate data breach, because that's what it is a breach of data protection law, and it is a personal data breach, but it is a deliberate data breach. It was clearly against the terms of use for the Oxford University IT and email contacts list, but also a university spokesperson was quoted in the tab as saying the university was very concerned to learn of this website and is taking immediate action to minimise the risk to our students and staff and rectify this misuse of personal data. Because it is about risks to people's emotional, mental and even physical well-being when their name and contact details are shared without their consent in this way. I'll leave you with an annoying irony about this case though. The only person who has managed to stay completely anonymous in all of this, the Ox Shagger themselves. And I think that says a lot. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, you might like this one too. Thanks for watching.